The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning, transmitted simultaneously to every digital device on Earth. The alien signal bypassed all encryption, all firewalls, displaying itself in every human language simultaneously. Humanity's first contact with extraterrestrial intelligence came not with a greeting, but with an ultimatum. To the governing bodies of Earth, your world has been identified as a potential protectorate of the Croaxian Empire. You have 30 Earth days to submit to imperial authority and accept your place among our sovereign territories. Resistance will result in immediate planetary pacification. Choose wisely. In the United Nations Security Council chamber, Secretary General Elena Santos stood steady, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic projection floating above the conference table. The alien message played on loop, its implications growing heavier with each repetition. Around her, representatives from every major nation sat in uncharacteristic silence. They expect panic, Elena finally said, her voice cutting through the tension. They expect us to fracture, to fight among ourselves as we've always done. That's why they've given us 30 days. They're counting on humanity's tendency towards self-destruction. General Zhang Wei of the Chinese delegation leaned forward. Then they don't know humanity as well as they think they do. The quantum defense grid is ready. Fully operational, confirmed Dr. Sarah Henderson, head of the Global Defense Initiative. The public satellites they can scan are exactly what we want them to see. Primitive orbital platforms running on ion engines and solar panels. The real network remains undetectable, just as we planned 20 years ago. The room stirred with quiet confidence. For 2 decades, the world's governments had maintained an elaborate charade, while publicly squabbling over minor territorial disputes and engaging in token space race achievements. They had secretly united under the Sentinel Protocol, a plan created the moment Earth's long-range sensors first detected the Croaxian Empire's expansion toward the Sol system. Elena turned to Admiral James Chen of the North American Alliance. Status of the quantum fleet. All 300 ships are in position, cloaked in fold space. Crews are trained, systems are green, and our AI battle networks are running at optimal capacity. The Croaxians won't see them until it's too late. The truth was, humanity had not been helpless for a very long time. The crashed alien scout ship in the Gobi Desert 30 years ago had provided more than enough technology to reverse engineer. But unlike other civilizations that rushed to display their technological achievements, humanity had learned the value of patience and deception. Dr. Henderson pulled up another hologram, showing the Croaxian fleet's approach vector. Their invasion force is exactly what we predicted. 5,000 ships, mainly concentrated around their dreadnought-class vessels. They're relying on overwhelming force and technological superiority, standard imperial tactics. And they have no idea about the quantum fold drives. Elena asked, though she already knew the answer. None, Admiral Chen confirmed with a slight smile. As far as they know, we're still struggling with chemical rockets and basic ion propulsion. The quantum technology we developed gives us capabilities they haven't even theorized yet. Their sensors literally cannot detect our ships or defense platforms. Elena nodded, taking in the faces around her. These men and women represented the finest minds and leaders Earth had produced, all working in secret for decades toward this moment. The public story of squabbling nations and slow technological progress had been carefully crafted, each apparent breakthrough timed and measured to present exactly the image they wanted their future adversaries to see. Send the response, she commanded. Keep it appropriately fearful and diplomatic. Request more time to consider their generous offer. Let's play this exactly as they expect a primitive civilization to react. As the message was transmitted, Elena allowed herself a small smile. The Croaxians thought they were dealing with a simple pre-space civilization, ripe for conquest or absorption into their empire. Instead, they were about to encounter humanity's real face, a united species that had spent generations preparing for this exact moment, armed with technology that would make their empire's finest ships obsolete. In 30 days, the galaxy would learn a crucial lesson: never mistake humanity's patience for weakness. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, in a facility unknown to all but a select few, Dr. Maya Patel stood before a wall of quantum displays showing real-time data from the approaching Croaxian fleet. Project Oracle's central command hub hummed with activity as the world's most advanced artificial intelligence processed billions of calculations per second. "Their technology is exactly as we predicted," Maya commented to her colleague, Dr. Marcus Schmidt, as they analyzed the incoming data. Plasma-based weapons, standard mass drivers, and shield systems based on electromagnetic repulsion. Nothing our quantum shields can't handle. The truth about humanity's technological advancement was a carefully guarded secret. While the world above maintained its facade of early space-age technology, facilities like this one had pushed the boundaries of physics itself. The quantum computing breakthrough 25 years ago had changed everything, allowing humanity to crack problems that would have taken conventional computers millennia to solve. Marcus nodded, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic displays. "The real advantage isn't just our technology. It's that we understand theirs completely. Every transmission they send is being decoded and analyzed by Oracle. Their tactical databases, their ship schematics, even their private communications. We can see everything." Project Oracle had been humanity's masterstroke. When they'd recovered the alien scout ship 3 decades ago, they hadn't just reverse-engineered its technology. They'd used it as a starting point to leap far beyond its capabilities. The quantum AI they'd developed didn't just process information. It could predict and model possible futures with unprecedented accuracy. A soft chime announced the arrival of Admiral Chen and Dr. Henderson in the command center. Maya turned to greet them, noting the determined look in their eyes. "The Croaxians just passed Mars' orbit," she reported. "Their confidence is remarkable. They're not even trying to mask their approach. Why would they?" Admiral Chen replied with a knowing smile. "As far as they know, we can barely detect them at all. Show me the latest simulation." Maya gestured, and the central hologram transformed into a detailed battle projection. Oracle has run over 10 million combat scenarios. The Croaxians will deploy in a standard Imperial formation, their dreadnoughts at the core, screened by lighter vessels. They expect to simply overwhelm our primitive defenses with sheer firepower. Dr. Henderson stepped closer to the display, studying the projected formations. "And our counter. The quantum fold ships are already in position, though the Croaxians can't detect them," Marcus explained. "When they commit to their attack formation, we'll emerge simultaneously at these key points." He highlighted several strategic positions in the hologram. "Their shields are useless against our quantum phase weapons, and their sensors can't track our ships once we enter fold space." The room fell silent as Oracle displayed the projected outcome. In the simulation, the massive Croaxian fleet found itself suddenly surrounded by ships that seemed to materialize from nowhere, their weapons bypassing Imperial shields as if they didn't exist. The AI calculated a 98.7% chance of total victory with minimal human casualties. "The public story was necessary," Admiral Chen said quietly. "If we'd revealed our true capabilities too soon, we would have faced not just the Croaxians, but every other advanced civilization that saw us as a threat. Now they'll all learn at once that humanity isn't just another primitive species to be conquered." Maya turned to another display showing the global defense grid. Thousands of quantum satellites hidden in fold space, undetectable, but ready to create an impenetrable shield around Earth at a moment's notice. 20 years of deception, all leading to this moment. The hardest part was keeping our progress hidden, making our public space program look just advanced enough to be believable but not threatening. "The Croaxians aren't just facing our technology," Dr. Henderson added. "They're facing decades of preparation, simulation, and strategy. Oracle has modeled their every possible move, their every potential tactic. We know how they think, how they fight, and most importantly, how they'll react when they realize they've walked into a trap." As if to emphasize her point, Oracle's displays updated with new data from the approaching fleet. The Croaxians were proceeding exactly as predicted, their massive ships moving into attack positions with the absolute confidence of a force that expected no real resistance. "Send word to all quantum fleet commanders," Admiral Chen ordered. "Review final positions and protocols. When the Croaxians make their move, humanity will reveal its true face to the galaxy. And after today, no empire will ever again mistake our patience for weakness." In orbit above Earth, invisible to conventional sensors, humanity's quantum ships waited in fold space, their crews ready, their weapons primed. The greatest deception in human history was about to reach its culmination, and the galaxy would never be the same. Supreme Commander Vexthor stood on the bridge of the Croaxian dreadnought Eternal Dominion, his 4 eyes fixed on the blue-green world before him. The 30-day grace period had expired, and Earth's response had been disappointingly predictable. Desperate pleas for more time, transparent attempts at diplomacy, and finally, silence. "Launch the display force," he ordered, mandibles clicking with anticipated satisfaction. "Let them see the futility of resistance before we begin the real assault." 1,000 Croaxian warships surged forward, their plasma drives illuminating space like artificial stars. The standard intimidation tactic had worked on countless worlds. Show them an overwhelming force, watch their primitive defenses crumble, and accept their surrender before any real damage was done. The first sign that something was wrong came from his sensor officer. "Supreme Commander, we're detecting unusual energy readings. They're everywhere." Before Vexthor could respond, space itself seemed to ripple. Where there had been empty void, suddenly there were ships, sleek, dark vessels, unlike anything in known space. They appeared simultaneously at strategic points throughout his fleet, their emergence accompanied by a cascading wave of quantum distortions that his sensors couldn't process. "Impossible," Vexthor breathed. "Their technology level." A transmission cut through all frequencies, broadcasting in perfect Croatian. "This is Admiral James Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You were expecting a primitive civilization. Allow us to correct that assumption." The human ships opened fire, but instead of conventional weapons, they unleashed beams of concentrated quantum energy that simply ignored Croaxian shields. Vexthor watched in horror as the first wave of his attack force was systematically dismantled. Ships that had survived decades of imperial warfare were being disabled with surgical precision by weapons that defied known physics. "Return fire," he roared, but the human vessels were already gone, slipping into what his science officer frantically identified as fold space before reappearing at new attack positions. The Croaxian fleet's shots passed through empty space where their targets had been microseconds before. In the Antarctic Command Center, Maya and her team watched through Oracle's quantum sensors as the battle unfolded exactly as simulated. "They're attempting to regroup around their dreadnoughts," she reported. "Just as predicted." Admiral Chen nodded. "Execute Phase 2. Above Earth, the quantum defense grid activated. Thousands of hidden satellites emerged from fold space, creating an interlocking network of energy fields that would make any direct assault on the planet impossible. But more importantly, they began broadcasting on frequencies that the Croaxian fleet couldn't block. Every screen, every console, every communication device in the Imperial fleet suddenly displayed the truth. Detailed schematics of their own ships, complete breakdowns of their tactical databases, and recordings of their own private communications. In an instant, the Croaxians realized they hadn't been dealing with a primitive civilization. They'd been completely exposed by an adversary that had been studying them for decades. "You never wondered," Admiral Chen's voice came again, "why Earth seemed to advance so slowly? Why our space program appeared to struggle with basic rocket technology? We saw you coming. Supreme Commander, we've been preparing for this day for 30 years. Vexthor stared at his tactical display in disbelief as more human ships emerged from fold space. His mighty fleet was being systematically isolated, disabled, and contained by an enemy that seemed to predict their every move. Ships that had conquered 100 worlds were being rendered helpless by weapons their sensors could barely detect. Their entire civilization was a deception, his tactical officer realized aloud. Everything we thought we knew about Earth was exactly what we wanted you to see, Chen finished. Humanity learned long ago that appearing weak while growing strong was the surest path to survival. You came expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, you found a civilization that has surpassed your empire's capabilities in ways you haven't even imagined. The battle continued, but it had already been decided. Human quantum ships danced through fold space, striking with impossible precision, their weapons bypassing the most advanced Croaxian defenses as if they didn't exist. Oracle's predictions played out with devastating accuracy as the invading fleet found itself trapped in a web of quantum fields, unable to retreat or mount an effective defense. As Vexthor watched his mighty fleet being systematically neutralized, he finally understood the true scope of humanity's deception. They hadn't just prepared for this battle, they had orchestrated every aspect of it, using the Croaxian Empire's own arrogance as a weapon against them. The galaxy's greatest military force had walked straight into humanity's carefully laid trap, and now they were about to learn the price of underestimating Earth. Supreme Commander Vexthor's bridge had fallen silent. The once proud command center of the Eternal Dominion now displayed countless damage reports and distress signals from his scattered fleet. 3 hours into the battle, and the mighty Croaxian armada was in ruins, not through destruction, but through a systematic dismantling that demonstrated humanity's overwhelming technological superiority. Full status report, he demanded, though he already knew the answer. 4,000 ships disabled, their quantum cores neutralized, his tactical officer responded, voice trembling. Another 1,000 trapped in containment fields. The remainder, Supreme Commander, we've lost contact with all escort vessels. The humans have isolated every capital ship in the fleet. We're alone. The human ships moved with impossible precision, their quantum drives allowing them to appear and disappear at will. Every counter-strategy, every tactical doctrine that had served the Empire for centuries, proved useless against an enemy that seemed to know their plans before they made them. In the Antarctic Command Center, Dr. Maya Patel watched as Oracle's predictions continued to unfold with uncanny accuracy. The Croaxian command ships are trying to coordinate a synchronized plasma burst, she reported. They think it might overload our quantum fields. Admiral Chen allowed himself a small smile. Let them try. Oracle predicted this 47 minutes ago. When the Croaxian dreadnoughts fired their synchronized burst, the quantum defense grid simply shifted phase, allowing the energy to pass harmlessly through fold space. The effort left the Imperial ships momentarily vulnerable, exactly as Oracle had predicted. Execute containment protocol, Chen ordered. The human fleet moved as one, their quantum drives creating a complex web of interlocking fields around the remaining Croaxian vessels. It wasn't just a display of superior technology. It was a demonstration of perfect coordination between human crews and artificial intelligence, a symphony of tactical precision that the Empire had never encountered. On the Eternal Dominion, Vexthor received a direct transmission from Earth. Secretary General Elena Santos appeared on his command screen, her expression firm but not triumphant. Supreme Commander, enough of your ships have been disabled to make our point. We could continue until your entire fleet is neutralized, but we prefer to offer you a choice. Vexthor's mandibles twitched. You've made your point, human. Your deception was masterful. What are your terms? Simple ones. The Croaxian Empire will acknowledge Earth as a sovereign power, not to be interfered with. In return, we will share some of our medical and agricultural technology, not our quantum advances, but innovations that will benefit your civilian populations. And if we refuse, Admiral Chen's voice cut in. Then we demonstrate exactly what our quantum weapons can do when we're not being careful to avoid casualties. Oracle has modeled that scenario too. You don't want to see those projections. The threat was clear. But so was the opportunity. The Empire had never encountered a species that could so thoroughly defeat them while simultaneously offering genuine diplomatic engagement. It went against every imperial doctrine of strength and dominance. "Your terms are unexpectedly generous," Vexthor admitted. "We're not interested in empire building," Alina replied. "Earth's goal is peaceful coexistence and mutual advancement. We hid our true capabilities because history taught us that emerging civilizations often face preemptive strikes from established powers. Now that we've demonstrated our strength, we can pursue more productive relationships." In the command center, Maya watched as Oracle's probability matrices shifted, showing the likelihood of various Croaxian responses. The AI had predicted this conversation with 94% accuracy, down to the specific words likely to be used. "There's more," Alina continued. "We know about the Drachnid incursion on your outer colonies." "Yes, we've been watching that too. Accept our terms, and we might be willing to discuss mutual defense arrangements against genuine threats to galactic stability." Vexthor's four eyes widened. The Drachnid threat had been a carefully guarded imperial secret. The fact that humans knew about it, had been monitoring it. "You've been studying us for years," he realized. "Not just our military capabilities. We've been studying everything," Chen confirmed. "Every species, every empire, every potential threat or ally. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology. It's our patience, our willingness to watch and learn before revealing our hand." The Supreme Commander looked at his tactical display one final time. His mighty fleet lay scattered and helpless, defeated not by brute force, but by an opponent that had outthought and outmaneuvered them at every turn. And now these same humans were offering a diplomatic solution that could potentially strengthen the Empire's position against other threats. "Send word to the Imperial Council," he commanded his communications officer. Tell them Earth has earned its place among the stars, and we would be wise to accept their offered hand in peace." 6 months after the Battle of Earth, the galaxy was still coming to terms with humanity's emergence as a major power. In the newly constructed Quantum Assembly Chamber in Geneva, representatives from 27 spacefaring civilizations gathered for the first Galactic Concordat Summit. The chamber itself was a testament to human ingenuity, a space that existed partially in normal space and partially in fold space, allowing instantaneous translation and secure communication across species barriers. Secretary General Alina Santos stood at the central podium, surveying the assembled delegates. Among them sat Supreme Commander Vexthor, now serving as the Croaxian Empire's chief diplomatic officer, a position created specifically to handle relations with Earth. The defeat of the Empire's greatest fleet had sent shockwaves through galactic society, but it was humanity's actions afterward that truly transformed the political landscape. "The age of empire building must end," Alina declared to the assembly. "Earth's emergence has demonstrated that technological superiority alone does not guarantee survival. It is cooperation, innovation, and mutual respect that will carry us forward into the future." In orbit above Earth, the quantum defense grid had become a model for planetary protection, with human engineers helping younger civilizations develop their own defensive capabilities. The sight of Earth's black quantum ships, once a symbol of hidden power, now represented hope to emerging species who feared imperial expansion. Dr. Maya Patel, now heading the Interstellar Scientific Exchange, worked with her team to coordinate the selective sharing of human technologies. Medical advances, agricultural innovations, and clean energy solutions were freely given, while quantum technology remained carefully controlled. Oracle had predicted that too rapid a dissemination of advanced technology would destabilize galactic society. The Drachnid incursion has been contained, Admiral Chen reported during a private session with the Security Council. The combined fleet of Earth and Croaxian forces successfully defended the outer colonies. More importantly, our intervention proved that former adversaries can become effective allies. The alliance with the Croaxian Empire had surprised many, but it showcased humanity's pragmatic approach to galactic politics. Instead of humiliating their defeated opponents, humans had offered partnership and mutual benefit. The Empire's vast experience in space warfare, combined with Earth's quantum technology, created a formidable peacekeeping force. We've identified 17 emerging civilizations approaching spaceflight capability, Dr. Henderson announced, pulling up a galactic map in quantum space. Under the old system, they would have faced subjugation or exploitation. Instead, we're establishing the Stellar Protection Protocol, a framework to ensure every species has the chance to develop without interference. In research facilities across Earth, human scientists worked alongside alien counterparts, pushing the boundaries of knowledge further than either could have achieved alone. The quantum computing breakthrough that had given humanity its edge was now being used to solve problems that affected all spacefaring races, from faster-than-light travel efficiency to sustainable energy production. The greatest change, however, was in how humanity was perceived. The species that had hidden its true capabilities for decades was now seen as a model of responsible advancement. Earth's strategy of patience, preparation, and measured response became a case study in diplomatic academies across the galaxy. We maintained our deception not out of fear, Elena explained to a gathering of young diplomats from various species, but because we understood that true strength lies in knowing when to reveal it. Humanity's greatest achievement wasn't developing quantum technology. It was maintaining our unity and purpose through decades of secrecy. In the Antarctic Command Center, now an international teaching facility, Maya stood with Marcus before Oracle's main interface. The quantum AI had evolved beyond its military origins, now helping coordinate humanitarian efforts and scientific research across thousands of worlds. The galaxy expected us to become another empire, Marcus mused, watching real-time data flow through quantum space. Instead, we became something they never anticipated, a stabilizing force. Because we remembered our history, Maya replied. Every human civilization that rushed to display its power eventually fell. We learned patience. We learned to watch, to prepare, and most importantly, to help others once we revealed ourselves. In the depths of space, Earth's quantum ships continued their patrols, no longer hidden but still vigilant. They were joined by vessels from allied species, all working together to maintain the peace that had emerged from humanity's great deception. The message to the galaxy was clear. The era of imperial conquest was over. A new age of cooperation and mutual protection had begun. As Elena concluded the Galactic Concordat Summit, she shared a knowing look with Vexthor. The former adversaries had become the architects of a new galactic order, proving that even the oldest of enemies could forge a better future together. Humanity had revealed its true face to the stars, and in doing so, had not only secured its own survival, but had helped create a galaxy where strength was measured not by conquest, but by the ability to protect and uplift others. The Great Deception had ended, but humanity's greatest chapter was just beginning.